Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the 10 most viewed television events of all time, so, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Antonio Inoki vs Muhammad Ali, 1.4 billion viewers. The War of the Worlds was a fight between American professional boxer Muhammad Ali and Japanese professional wrestler Antonio Inoki, held at the Nippon Budokan Arena in Tokyo, Japan, on June 26, 1976. At the time, Ali had come off a knockout victory over Richard Dunn in May and was the undisputed heavyweight boxing champion. Inoki, who had been taught catch wrestling by wrestler Karl Gotch, was staging exhibition fights against champions of various martial arts, in an attempt to show that pro wrestling was the dominant fighting discipline. The fight itself, which was fought under special rules, is seen as a precursor to modern mixed martial arts, MMA. The majority of the fight saw Inoki on his back kicking Ali's legs 107 times uninhibited by the referee, due to a particular rule negotiated shortly before the fight, which allowed him to do so without being disqualified. The result of the fight, a draw, has long been debated by the press and fans. The fight was refereed by Jean Labelle. Live Aid, 1.9 billion viewers, was a multi-venue benefit concert held on Saturday 13 July 1985, as well as a music-based fundraising initiative. Some text goes here. 1985 famine in Ethiopia, a movement that started with the release of the successful charity single, Do They Know It's Christmas?, in December 1984. Billed as the Global Jukebox, Live Aid was held simultaneously at Wembley Stadium in London, attended by about 72,000 people, and John F. Kennedy Stadium in Philadelphia, attended by 89,484 people. On the same day, concerts inspired by the initiative were held in other countries, such as the Soviet Union, Canada, Japan, Yugoslavia, Austria, Australia, and West Germany. It was one of the largest satellite link-ups and television broadcasts of all time, an estimated audience of 1.9 billion, in 150 nations, watched the live broadcast, nearly 40% of the world population. Live Aid, 2 billion viewers, was a string of benefit concerts that took place on the 2nd of July 2005, in the G8 states and in South Africa. They were timed to precede the G8 conference and summit held at the Gleneagles Hotel in Auchterarder, Scotland, from the 6th to the 8th of July 2005. Both events also coincided with the 20th anniversary of Live Aid. Run in support of the aims of the UK's Make Poverty History campaign and the global call to action against poverty, 10 simultaneous concerts were held on the 2nd of July and one on the 6th of July. On the 7th of July, the G8 leaders pledged to double 2004 levels of aid to poor nations from $25 billion to $50 billion by 2010. Half of the money was to go to Africa. More than 1,000 musicians performed at the concerts, which were broadcast on 182 television networks and 2,000 radio networks. Muhammad Ali vs Leon Spinks 2 billion viewers. After his shock win over Ali to become heavyweight champion, Leon Spinks was stripped of the WBC belt for not facing its number 1 ranked contender Ken Norton. Instead, he agreed to a rematch with Ali. Ali entered the rematch as a 2.5-to-1 favorite. The fight was held at the Louisiana Superdome, with ringside seats costing $200, equivalent to $897 in 2022. The card contained 3 other world title fights. WBA bantamweight champion Jorge Lujan vs future WBC champion Alberto Davila, WBC featherweight champion Danny Lopez vs Juan Malvarez, and WBA light heavyweight champion Victor Galindez vs Mike Rossman. ABC paid $5.3 million, $22.24 million in 2021 dollars for the rights to televise the fight live in the United States. The broadcast was blacked out in the entire state of Louisiana and markets within 200 miles of the Superdome, which included Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, and Pensacola, Florida. Muhammad Ali vs Larry Holmes, The Last Hurrah, 2 billion viewers. On July 17, 1980, Ali and Holmes signed to fight on October 2 at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Promoter Don King said Ali would be paid $8 million and Holmes $6 million. Caesar's Palace constructed a temporary 24,790-seat outdoor arena for the fight. The live gate was $6 million, a record for that time. Funeral of Lady Diana, 2 billion viewers. On September 6, 1997, an estimated 2.5 billion people around the globe tune in to television broadcasts of the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, who died at the age of 36 in a car crash in Paris the week before. During her 15-year marriage to Prince Charles, the son of Queen Elizabeth II and the heir to the British throne, Diana became one of the most famous, most photographed people on the planet. Her life story was fodder for numerous books, television programs and movies, and her image appeared on countless magazine covers, including those of People and Vanity Fair. After her death, she remained an iconic figure and a continual source of fascination to the media and entertainment world. Michael Jackson's memorial service, 2.5 billion viewers. A public memorial service for Michael Jackson was held on July 7, 2009, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, 12 days after his death. The event was preceded by a private family service at Forest Lawn Memorial Park's Hall of Liberty in Hollywood Hills, and followed by a gathering in Beverly Hills for Jackson's family and close friends. Jackson's closed, solid bronze casket, plated with 14-karat gold and lined with blue velvet, which was not originally expected to be at the memorial service, arrived just before 10 a.m. local time when it was placed in front of the stage. The memorial began a few minutes after 10:30 a.m. with music and a eulogy from Pastor Lucius Smith. The stage was filled with floral arrangements, with photographs and film of Jackson and the Jackson 5 projected onto screens at the back. Music and video montages traced his life from the beginning of his career to the end. Beijing Olympics opening ceremony in 2008, 3 billion viewers. The ceremony was directed by Chinese filmmaker Zhang Yimou, who was the chief director and was assisted by Chinese choreographers Zhang Zhigang and Chen Weiya. The director of music for the ceremony was composer Chen Qigong. It was noted for its focus on ancient Chinese culture, and for its creativity, as well as being the first to use weather modification technology to prevent rainfall. The final ascent to the torch featured Olympic gymnast Li Ning, who appeared to run through air around the membrane of the stadium. Featuring 15,000 performers, the ceremony lasted over 4 hours and was reported to have cost over $100 million to produce. 1996 Atlanta Olympics opening ceremony, 3.6 billion viewers. The Olympic cauldron was lit by former gold medalist and boxing champion Muhammad Ali. 1. The ceremony featured film composer John Williams, French-Canadian singer Celine Dion and American singer Gladys Knight. The ceremony attendance was 85,600. The ceremony was produced and directed by Don Mischer. It was watched by an estimated 3.5 billion viewers worldwide, being the most watched TV event until 2022, when it was dethroned by the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. The opening ceremony of the 1996 Summer Olympics took place in the evening on Friday, July 19 at the Centennial Olympic Stadium, Atlanta, United States. As mandated by the Olympic Charter, the proceedings combined the formal and ceremonial opening of this international sporting event. Queen Elizabeth II funeral, 5.1 billion viewers. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral was an intricately staged farewell production that had it all: elaborate costumes, bagpipes and tolling bells, soldiers on horseback, cannons and castles. The streets along the procession routes were jammed with crowds, but the far bigger audience was watching on TV around the world. Many analysts said the funeral could turn out to be the most watched single TV event in history, with a large portion of the 7.7 billion people around the globe catching at least some of it. Those who have been planning this for decades clearly had that audience in mind.